This portrait of President Truman is the first presidential portrait to be completed by a woman. It was painted by this artist, Greta Kempton, but it was the second one to be started. President Truman, of course, became president when FDR died. And Franklin Delano Roosevelt actually died while sitting for this painting by Elizabeth Shaumatov. So this painting was never completed. The paintings are obviously very different, even aside from the fact that one is finished and one is unfinished. The FDR portrait is done in watercolor, while the Harry S. Truman portrait is done in oils. So there's a little bit more of like a looseness to the Harry S. Truman one, and we also don't have like a fully rendered background. We just have this sort of grayish color. But still, it's never gonna be this kind of work that's in the style of Greta Kempton working in oils. In the Truman portrait, I'm really drawn to the background and specifically to the clouds. And I think the reason I'm drawn to these is they remind me of his presidency. There is a literal dark cloud hanging over Harry S. Truman in this painting. Without a doubt, the most influential thing that Harry Truman did was end World War II. And he did that by dropping 2 atomic bombs on Japan. One on Hiroshima on August 6, 1945, and a second on Nagasaki on August 9, 1945. In other words, a military targeting of civilians. About 80,000 civilians were killed instantly in the bombing of Hiroshima. So remembering this is 80 years ago, information is not spreading as fast. This is completely new technology. Japan doesn't even have enough time to respond. The United States doesn't even know what Japan is gonna do. They didn't even have time to surrender. Drops another bomb. It is incomprehensible how unnecessary that second bomb was. And that one killed about 40,000 civilians instantly. Now, by the end of the year, the death toll in Hiroshima rose to about 140,000, and the death toll in Nagasaki rose to about 80,000. That's from burns, injuries, radiation sickness, lack of access to care. Also, in between the days of those 2 bombings, there was even the additional declaration of war on Japan by the Soviets. And the thing is, that's super effective. To just have and to use incredible force is totally effective, as long as you don't see those people as human and don't care how many lives it costs. Now, of course, the Manhattan Project was initiated by FDR. FDR, who also was responsible for the internment of Japanese Americans. He never saw the completion of any of these policies. That legacy was left to Truman, but shared by both.